language learning seems straightforward. Study vocabulary, practice grammar, repeat. But what if the secret to mastering a new language has more to do with how our brains process patterns than memorizing rules?
That's such an intriguing perspective, especially since traditional language education often focuses so heavily on rote memorization. What made you start thinking about this?
Well, recent neuroscience research shows that our brains actually process language more like pattern recognition software than a translation dictionary. When we're learning a new language, we're literally rewiring neural pathways to recognize new sound patterns and meaning connections.
Hmm, that would explain why immersion tends to be more effective than classroom learning alone.
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating about immersion. Studies show that learners who engage with authentic content in their target language for just 30 minutes daily show 40% faster improvement in comprehension compared to traditional study methods.
So, what does that mean for someone trying to improve their English comprehension right now?
Well, think of it like tuning an old radio. At first, everything's static, but as your brain starts recognizing patterns, words emerge from the noise. Research from MIT's Language Learning Lab shows that our brains can start identifying word boundaries in a new language within just 15 minutes of exposure.
Oh, wow, that's much faster than I would have expected. But then, why do so many people struggle with understanding native speakers?
That's where it gets really interesting. Native speakers typically use what linguists call connected speech patterns, where words blend together. In fact, studies show that in casual English conversation, up to 60% of word boundaries disappear completely.
That explains why textbook English sounds nothing like real world conversations.
Right. And here's a mind blowing statistic: the average English speaker uses only about 850 words in daily conversation. But the way these words connect and flow creates over 3,000 distinct sound patterns. That's why the shadowing technique has become so popular.
Tell me more about this shadowing technique. How exactly does it work?
So, shadowing leverages what neuroscientists call mirror neurons. You listen to native speech and repeat it immediately, matching not just words, but rhythm and intonation. Research shows this technique can improve comprehension by up to 30% in just 3 weeks of daily practice.
That's remarkable. And it seems like something anyone could do with the right content.
Exactly. And speaking of content, here's something surprising. Studies show that watching TV shows with dual subtitles can improve listening comprehension by up to 50% compared to no subtitles. But there's a specific method to make it most effective.
Well, that certainly challenges the idea that subtitles are just a crutch.
Yeah. And get this. Research from the University of Madrid found that learners who used a three-step subtitle method, first native language, then target language, then none, showed twice the improvement in comprehension compared to those who used subtitles randomly.
Those are compelling numbers. What other research backed strategies should people know about?
Well, here's something fascinating from cognitive science. Our brains process familiar content 30% more efficiently than new content. So, watching your favorite movie in English multiple times actually creates stronger neural pathways than watching different movies once.
That makes so much sense from a learning perspective. You're not just struggling with language, you already know the context.
And here's another key finding. Studies show that learners who engage with content they genuinely enjoy show cortisol levels 40% lower than those studying with traditional materials. Lower stress means better learning outcomes.
So the enjoyment factor isn't just about motivation, it actually affects our brain chemistry?
Precisely. And recent research from the Journal of Neurolinguistics shows that when we're enjoying content, our brains release dopamine, which can improve memory formation by up to 40%. It's why song lyrics stick in our heads so easily.
These findings really turn traditional language learning approaches upside down.
You know what's really encouraging? Studies show that just 10 minutes of active listening practice daily can lead to measurable improvements in comprehension within 6 weeks. It's not about marathon study sessions, it's about consistency.
That makes the whole process seem much more manageable.
And here's the final piece that brings it all together. Research shows that learners who approach language acquisition as a long-term journey, rather than a race to fluency, show 45% better retention rates and report significantly higher satisfaction with their progress.
Those are really encouraging statistics to end on. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. And remember, every expert was once a beginner who just kept showing up. The science proves it. Your brain is perfectly equipped to learn a new language. It just needs the right input and enough time to process it.